Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight here in the studio on this July 8th, 2014. I have Alex Jones on the phone. He's going to be joining us in just a moment or two. We have some breaking news from California, as we have up on Infowars.com. Mexican flag-wearing La Raza militants arrive in Murrieta, California. This is the place where there's a standoff between citizens who are protesting the 140 immigrants that are going to be brought in every 72 hours into the place by our government, importing the immigrants. So they've pushed back against that. They've stopped the importation now 3 times. So the federal government is bringing in reinforcements. They're bringing in La Raza. We also have Infowars reporters there, and we're going to be talking to them later on in the show. We've got Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs, who has already been threatened by some of these people. Of course, there's also interviews with some other Hispanics there who point out that La Raza is a Hispanic KKK. And Alex is going to be joining us in just one second. But before we go to him, also we're going to have Jerome Corsi later on in the program. He's going to be pointing out what only WND and Infowars has been pointing out, and that is the establishment believes that America is finished. This is the beginning of North America as an established fact, the North American Union. Both Petraeus and Pelosi have openly said that. Corsi wrote an article about it yesterday. We pointed it out a couple of weeks ago when Petraeus first said that in London. But going now to Alex Jones. Alex?
That's right, my friend. Joining you via audio Skype. I'll be back live tomorrow and throughout the week and next Sunday. When it rains, it pours. I've had some more family issues and another death in the family. So
I think we just lost him there on the phone, but we're going to have him back. We're going to reestablish connection. I wanted to bring you up with what's going on with this Mexican flag wearing La Raza militants article there at Murrieta. Of course, they say that they're there to protect the children. You understand, of course, that Obama says that the children that are being protected under the DREAM Act is anyone up to the age of 31 years old. Yes, that's what's happening. We've also got other articles that we're going to be talking about. HHS is muzzling the media in tours of an Oklahoma facility. And we reported on this before that Congressman Bridenstine has gone there. He was concerned about the welfare of the children, and rightfully so. How do children get across a continent unaccompanied as minors, very young minors? Who's bringing them in? Who are they being turned over to? Well, when he went to the facility, the military facility, he was told that he couldn't enter, even after he told them he was a U.S. congressman. Now they're threatening the media, saying that they can come in, but they can't talk to any of the kids. They can't record anything. And he's saying this is not a free country. And, of course, our reporter, Kit Daniels, was threatened with arrest because we took pictures from outside of Lackland Air Force Base down in San Antonio where this was happening. This is not even just limited to journalists and congressmen, of course. They're threatening the public. That's what's going on in Murrieta. You see, ICE and others are pushing back against the public who is protesting it. And in Dallas, they're doing it proactively. We were going to have a clip coming up from a Dallas judge who has gone door to door before the immigrants have been shipped into an abandoned school there, telling people that, well, you can protest, but you better do it within the law. And, of course, Dallas is one of the places with the most restrictions on free speech. Whether it was the George Bush Library protest, whether it was the Infowars and Alex Jones protesting the shutting down of free speech on the JFK anniversary, the 50th anniversary of the assassination. In both of those cases, Dallas pushed back. They shut down free speech. They've extended their rules to protests that are within 75 feet of a road. Now, of course, interfering with transportation was not an issue at either of those protests, either at the George Bush Library protest or the JFK assassination event. Neither of those were anywhere near a facility, but they're using that as a pretense, as they do all over the country. We're going to be right back with more updates from Alex Jones and from our reporters in California, as well as Jerome Corsi. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Alex.
I've always believed in nutrition and herbs.
Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals, sourced from powerful organic herbs, harvested around the planet, and then concentrated for maximum potency.
I just received my Male Vitality about 3 days ago, and I must say, that is good stuff.
After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality and getting the day started.
It's not just the Super Male Vitality. All the products at InfoWarsLife.com are simply amazing. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
City of Austin tap water versus filtered City of Austin tap water.
I can taste dirt in it.
God knows what's in this.
These people just sampled City of Austin tap water straight from the faucet. Next, we had them try a sample of tap water filtered with the ProPure G2.0 filtration system.
That one is better.
Tastes like nothing.
Yep, I know what good water tastes like. It's good water.
Most tap water contains added substances like fluoride, chlorine, glyphosate, and many others. Studies prove that these substances are linked to an assortment of major health issues, including tooth decay, lowered IQ, and even cancer.
It tastes like you're drinking out of the lake when you're drinking tap water.
The ProPure G2.0 filtration system removes these deadly substances, leaving only fresh-tasting, deliciously clean water.
Okay, this is very tasty.
It's good water.
Refreshing.
It's good.
Go to InfoWarsStore.com today. Use promo code WATER and save 10% off your ProPure purchase. Or call 1-888-253-3139.
Man, when I get home from work, all Betty does is watch her reality TV and then she goes to sleep. I could take her on romantic dates, I get her flowers, you name it. She's just not the woman I married.
Oh, Ralph, that's just awful.
Does this seem familiar? Are the honeymoon days of your relationship long gone? If so, consider this: the abundance of chemical additives, pesticides, BPA containers, contaminated tap water, and other toxic substances found in our environment. Experts know our bodies are suffering and being thrown off balance, especially when it comes to your natural systems. Forget synthetic chemicals. Super Female Vitality brings forward key herbs specifically chosen for women's biology without the use of phony additives. Get your bottle of Super Female Vitality today at InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or call 1-888-253-3139. InfoWarsLife.com. Live life healthy.
We now take you live to the Central Texas Command Center in the heart of the resistance. It's Alex Jones.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show on this Tuesday, July 8th, 2014. I'm David Knight in the studio. La Raza has arrived at Murrieta, California. That's, of course, the place where protesters are protesting the fact that 140 illegal immigrants are being flown in every 72 hours. They've turned away a couple of shipments, and so reinforcements have arrived from the federal government, I guess we could say, La Raza, because they're trying to play this up as a race versus race issue. How better to do that with La Raza? But we also have InfoWars reporters who have arrived on the scene. We're going to be talking to them later in the day. We have two reporters on the scene, and we're going to be talking to them separately, Staff Sergeant Joe Biggs as well as Jakari Jackson, and we're going to be joined by Jerome Corsi in the third hour. He's going to talk about what is really behind all of this. This is really the collapse of America. And on the phone, we have Alex Jones. Alex, this is the collapse of America, isn't it?
Yes, it is, David. And I'm still getting the music in my ear, just so everybody knows there at the network.
Okay. We got it. Hello, Alex? I think we lost him. We've got a little bit of a phone issue there. Now, in other breaking news, we're going to reestablish connection. We're going to get Alex right back because he wanted to cover what's going on. There is a tremendous amount of information that is coming out now in the immigration area. We've got the LAPD is going to halt detention of undocumented immigrants at the request of ICE. Now, of course, the LAPD is saying, you know, we've got more important things to do than to hold people coming into the country in waves of massive immigration. What we're really concerned about is getting drugs off the street, stopping gun violence. So on behalf of our taxpayers, we're going to say no more. Well, you know, actually, drugs are the central problem. If you're looking at the collapsing countries in Central and South America where there is so much violence, it's because of our war on drugs. And it's because they have no firearms, of course, in those countries. And so the people in those countries, with a few exceptions of the places where you've got Mexican provinces where militias have formed to stand up against the corrupt government, against the drug lords there, with the exception of those areas, they're essentially at the mercy of the drug war, just like we saw in Chicago this last weekend. We had 82 people shot and 14 people killed in Chicago. Why? Because of drug wars. That's what we've been told many times by law enforcement, by judges. We've interviewed Jim Gierach with Law Enforcement Against Prohibition several times on this show. He's a former prosecutor out of Chicago. He knows that area very well. He says 80% of the shootings in Chicago, at least when he was there, up to the point of about 5 years ago, were drug-related. And I just hear that we've got Alex Jones back. Alex, can you hear us?
Hopefully. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we have our reporters down there on the border in Southern California right now in Marietta. And reportedly, Joe Biggs, one of our reporters, has been basically threatened, a threat on his life. That's coming up at the bottom of this hour with Jakari Jackson, Joe Biggs, and we'll also have staff reporter Kit Daniels and, of course, Josh Owens there with you, who famously got that footage when the feds backed down with that situation out in the Bundy situation in Nevada. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is all part of a larger program to implode the United States into the North American Union. Out of crises, they will build their new world order. Order out of chaos is the plan. And the narrative is that this is just about Democratic voters. And the narrative is this is about Cloward and Piven and more socialism and more dependency. And that's part of it. But the larger issue is bringing in a major crisis that is a smokescreen for the feds to federalize the western states and other states that are on the verge of financial collapse. So this is about driving the entire country into the type of downward spiral we've seen in Detroit. This is the globalist program. This is what they do. This is what they've done all over the world. And they are advertising for MS-13, La Raza, Mecha, the literal dregs of southern North America, Mexico, Central America, Guatemala, South, and then, of course, South America. And even Vice documentaries on HBO just show the incredible crime, the drug addicts, the leprosy, just the diseases, which is just now pouring across the border, and this is being done by design. And now we have the bombshell information up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Obama gives Marietta area ICE agents stand-down order, Cloward and Piven strategy in full swing. And if you remember, it's not just Paul Joseph Watson's new article. It's the Border Patrol Union president and vice president, one of which you've interviewed, David, who were on record, ladies and gentlemen, saying that 3 months ago they were given a stand-down order from San Diego to McAllen, Texas, from Southern California to Texas, and they're told, stand down, go pick up trash, go do something else. Reinforcements are coming. So they never have to put it on paper that they've actually ordered a full stand-down. This is the greatest definition of high treason by the president and the criminals that control the Democratic Party, and they want to exploit the giant immigrant population out of Central South America and Mexico, who the political class, the big banks, but right down to the, quote, La Raza, Mecha, Chicano leaders and the law firms that serve them, literally feed on this population and literally use this population as a black market mules, not just for drugs, but for money laundering, you name it. And so the huge drug war we've seen in Mexico against different drug cartels